Onlookers, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect your very own domain to your Onlook projects. We'll do this in 3 simple steps. We'll start off by telling Onlook what your domain name is so that it knows what URL to map to the project. We'll then set up your DNS settings together so that browsers know where to point people when they look up your URL. And finally, we'll publish and test the project together. Let's dive in. All right, kicking things off inside of the builder, I've got my completed project here that I'm ready to set live. I've tested it on an Onlook domain, and I now want to map my own custom domain. To start off, I'm going to click on the publish button, but this time I'm going to link the custom domain. From here, I'm then going to set my domain name. For today, I'll be using a domain called The Lost City. I'll then hit setup. Now, this tells Onlook what our domain name is, but we now need to go and configure the DNS settings. You can see them right here. So I've got a text record and 2 A records. Now, this will look slightly different depending on which domain name provider you're with and where your DNS is set up. But layouts and UIs aside, the actions that you need to perform here are the exact same across all domain name registers. So I'm going to start off with the text record. I'm going to copy here the host, click on that little copy button. I'm then going to jump over to my DNS records. And in my case, I'm on Cloudflare here. And you can see I've got 2 old CNAMEs mapped. So I'm going to start off by getting rid of those. And we're going to add a new record. So that first one there was a text record. So the type, I'm going to switch this to text, TXT. For the value or the name, I'm going to put this, just paste what was given by Onlook, jump back and go copy the value here, back to my DNS settings and paste that as content of the value. Go ahead and save. And I'm going to repeat this process for the other 2 records. So back to Onlook. Copy the next one, that's an A record, at, and a value, we'll copy that. Jump back over to our DNS, add a new record, it's an A record, it was at for the root, I paste in the value, and I'm going to skip the proxy status for today. And we're going to repeat this with the last one as well. So for the www, once again, an A record, add a new one, a www for the name, paste that in, remove the proxy if you're on Cloudflare, and hit publish. Now you see I've got the 3 records mapped here. Depending on your registrar, it can take up to 72 hours for these records to properly propagate or essentially go through and be available across the web. In most cases, it's pretty much instant. To know when it's mapped, just jump back over to Onlook and we're going to click on the verify setup button. You can see here it's correctly verified and we're pretty much good to move into phase 3, the publish. So I'm going to close this off, go back to my publish button, and this time I'm going to publish to The Lost City. We'll give this a quick second to build and publish. There we have it. The deployment was successful. I'm just going to open that now up in a new tab. And you can see I have my completed project, this time on my actual domain name. And that's it. That is how you publish your Onlook projects to your own domain name. So we did this again in 3 simple steps. We started by telling Onlook what our domain name was. Onlook then gave us the DNS records that we needed to configure. We jumped over to our DNS provider. In our case today, it was Cloudflare, but you may be using GoDaddy, Namecheap, one of the many, many other domain name providers. The system and the flow is the same, but their UIs are slightly different. Once we mapped the DNS settings, we then verified that they were live inside of Onlook. And as the last step, we published our project. That's it for the video today. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. Feel free to jump into the community where we've got thousands of other builders, engineers, designers, product managers, building live and prototyping with Onlook. And in the meantime, I'll catch you in the next one.